Hello everyone, welcome back to chapter 2 Money and Banking. In our previous class, we learned about measures of money supply and high powered money. We saw how RBI creates the monetary base and how money is measured in the economy. But think about your daily life. Where do you keep your money? Maybe your parents keep their salary in the bank. Where do they transfer your school fee from? The bank. Where do they receive their salary? The bank. When they pay through UPI, where does the money come from? Again, the bank. So here's today's question. What exactly is a commercial bank? Is it a safe place to keep the money, or does it perform many more functions? By the end of the lesson, you will realize that commercial banks are one of the most important institutions in an economy. Without banks, salary would be difficult to receive, businesses would struggle to borrow money, online payments would become inconvenient, and economic growth would slow down. Today, we will understand what commercial banks are, why they exist, the different services they provide, and why are they so important for individuals, businesses, and the economy. We'll use real-life examples that you will see every day. So by the end of this lesson, banking will feel much more practical and easier to remember. Let's understand the meaning of a commercial bank. Imagine you receive 10,000 rupees as a scholarship. Would you keep all the money at home? Probably not. Most people deposit it in the bank because banks provide safety and easy access. Now imagine another person who wants to start a small business but does not have enough money. The bank can provide a loan. Notice what happened. One person had extra money and deposited it. Another person needed money and borrowed it. The bank acts like a bridge between savers and borrowers. A commercial bank is a financial institution that accepts deposit from the public and provides loan and other banking services. Let's understand this with a simple example. Ria deposits 50,000 rupees in her saving account. The bank does not simply lock that money in a cupboard. Instead, it keeps a part safely and lends some money to Rahul, who wants to buy a scooter or expand his business. Rahul pays interest to the bank on the loan. The bank also pays interest to Ria on her deposit, although usually at a lower rate. The difference between the interest earned and the interest paid is one of the ways banks earn income. Apart from deposits and loans, bank also provide many services such as ATM facilities, internet banking, mobile banking, UPI transactions, check services, lockers, and fund transfers. So remember this, a commercial bank is not just a place where money is stored. It is an institution that keeps money moving throughout the economy. Now let's look at different types of commercial banks in India. Although they provide banking services, they differ mainly in ownership and customers they focus on. First one is public sector banks. These are the banks where the government of India owns the majority stake. Example includes the State Bank of India, Punjab National Bank. People mostly trust these banks because of government significant ownership. Second one is privately owned. These banks are owned mainly by private shareholders. Example, HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, Axis Bank. They are known for offering a wide range of digital banking services and customer-focused products. Third one is foreign banks. These are banks whose headquarters are located outside India but which operates branches in India. For example, HSBC Bank and Standard Chartered. They often serve international businesses and customers involved in global trade, while also providing services to individual customers. Fourth type of banks are RRBs, or regional rural banks. As the name suggests, these banks focus on rural areas. Their objective is to provide banking services to farmers, small businesses, agriculture workers, and people living in villages. They play an important role in promoting financial inclusion and supporting rural development. Now here's an important question for your board exam. You are not expected to memorize dozens of bank names. Instead, understand who owns the bank, which customer does it mainly serve. If you know these 2 points, you can easily identify type of commercial bank. For example, if the government owns most of the bank, it's a public sector bank. If private shareholders owns most of it, private sector bank. If head office is outside the India, it is foreign bank. If the bank mainly serves rural commodity or community, it is regional rural bank. That simple classification is enough for your board examination. Now we have understood what a commercial bank is. The next question is, what does a commercial bank actually do? Many people think the bank only keeps our money safe. That's true, But it is only one small part of bank's work. Commercial bank perform many important functions that help individuals, businesses and entire economy. These functions are divided into two categories. First one is primary function. These are main functions for which bank exist. These are accepting deposits and advancing loans. Without these two functions, a commercial bank cannot operate. Secondary functions. Apart from deposits and loans, bank also provides several additional services. They are agency functions and general utility functions. We'll understand each one with example. Think of commercial bank as financial service center. It stores your money, helps you borrow money, transfer funds, collects checks, provides locker, and even allow you to pay bills online. That's why banks are such an essential part of modern life. So in the exam, always classify the function into primary and secondary before explaining them. It makes your answer more organized and can fetch you better marks. Let's begin with the first primary function, accepting deposits. People earn money through salaries, businesses, farming or other sources. Instead of keeping all the money at home, they deposit it in the bank. Why? Because the bank provides safety, convenience, interest on certain deposits. But here's something interesting. Not all deposits are the same. Bank offers different types of accounts because different customers have different needs. First one, saving deposits. This is the common type of account. Most students and salaried person use savings account. The main purpose is to encourage saving while still they can easily withdraw money. For example, if your parents receive their salary every month, it is often credited to a savings account. Or sometimes it is called a salaried account. Second one is current deposit. This account is mainly used by businesses. Business owners may deposit and withdraw money many times a day. So current account usually allow unlimited transaction but generally do not pay interest. Third one is fixed deposit or FD. Suppose your parents have 1 lakh and they don't need immediately. They may keep it in fixed deposit for 1 year or more. In return, the bank pay a higher rate of interest because the money remains with the bank for a fixed period. Fourth one is recurring deposit, or which it is also called as RD. What if someone cannot invest 1 lakh at once? No problem. They can deposit a fixed amount every month. For example, 2000 rupees every month for 2 years. This is called recurring deposit. It helps bank and people develop a regular saving habits. So remember, different deposits are designed for different financial needs. So in long answer question, always write one feature and one example of each type of deposit. Now let's discuss the second primary function of commercial bank, that is advancing loan. Banks don't simply collect deposits. They also lend money to people and businesses. This helps individuals achieve important goals and allow business to expand. Let's look at few examples. First one is home loan. Buying a house is very expensive. Most families cannot pay the entire amount at once. So bank provide home loans that are repaid in monthly installments, which is also called as EMI. Second one is vehicle loan. If someone wants to buy a car or scooter but does not have enough money immediately, a bank can provide a vehicle loan. Third one is education loan. Higher education can be costly. Banks offer education loans so that students can continue their studies and repay the amount after completing their education and starting a job. Fourth one is business loan. Entrepreneurs often need money to buy machines, raw materials, or expand their business. Commercial banks provide business loans to support their activities. Apart from these, banks also offer facilities like overdraft, where certain account holders can withdraw more money than what is available in the account, but up to a approved limit. Cash credit, mainly provided to business, allowing them to borrow against security for working capital needs. So always mention that bank earn income by charging interest on loans. This is an important part in many board examinations. Now let's move to the secondary functions of the commercial banks. The first category is agency functions. The word agency means acting on behalf of something or someone else. Imagine you are traveling and you ask a trusted friend to pay your electricity bill. Your friend is acting on your behalf. Banks do something similar for their customers. Let's look at the simple example. First one is collecting check. Suppose someone gives you a check. Instead of giving it to the issuer directly, you deposit it in the bank. The bank collects the payment for you. Second one, paying utility bill. Many people set up automatic payment for electricity, water, gas. So we also use it for Netflix and other OT. So these bank pay these bills on the customer's instruction. So next one is transferring funds. Whether it is NEFT, RTGS, IMPS or UPI, banks transfer money safely from one account to another. Next one is standing instruction. Suppose your insurance premium is due on 5th of every month. You can instruct the bank to pay it automatically. This saves time and avoids missed payments. Last one is collecting dividends. If you own shares in a company, the bank may help collect dividend payment on your behalf. Notice the common idea in all these examples. The bank is not only using its own money, it's simply performing service as an agent of the customer. That's why these are called agency functions. So the easiest way to remember agency function is to focus on phrase on behalf of the customer. If you include this in your answer, you will clearly explain the concept. Now let's understand the last category of function performed by commercial bank, that is general utility function. So the word utility simply means useful services. These are services that make our financial life easier, faster and safer. Let's understand each one. First one is locker facility. Imagine your family has important documents like property papers, jewelry or valuable certificates. Keeping them at home may not be always safe. Banks provide lockers where customers can safely store valuable items. Second one is debit and credit cards. Instead of carrying large amount of cash, people use debit and credit cards for shopping, hotel bookings, online payments and much more. A debit card uses the money already available in your bank account. A credit card allows you to spend first and repay the amount later, subject to the bank's term. Third one is mobile banking. Today, almost everything can be done through a banking app. You can transfer money, check your balance, pay bills, recharge your phone, and even open certain deposits without visiting the bank. Fourth one is internet banking. Using a computer, customer can access banking services anytime and from almost anywhere. Fifth one is ATM services. ATM allows customers to withdraw cash, check balances and perform several banking transactions even outside banking hours. Last one is foreign exchange services. Suppose a student goes abroad for higher education or a business imports goods from another country. Banks help convert Indian rupees into foreign currencies like US dollar, euros or pounds. This service is known as foreign exchange. Now think about your own family. How many times do they use these services every week? Probably several times. That's why banks today are not just places to keep money, they are complete financial service providers. So if asked to explain general utility function, write at least 4 services with one example each. Now let's connect everything we have learned through one real life example. Imagine Mr. Sharma is a school teacher. On the first day of every month, his salary is credited to his savings account or salaried account. This is the bank's deposit function. Next, he pays his electricity bill and grocery expenses using UPI. This uses the bank's digital banking services. Every month, the EMI of his home loan is automatically deducted. This shows the bank loan services and standing instructions. He decides to invest 5,000 rupees every month in a recurring deposit. The bank helps him build long-term savings. Later, he withdraws some cash from an ATM for small expenses. During the year, he also keeps important documents in the bank locker. Now look carefully. One bank has helped him save money, spend money, borrow money, invest money, withdraw money, and protect valuable documents. That's why commercial banks are considered the backbone of modern financial life. This single example covers almost every function we have studied today. Students often confuse deposits and loans. Let's compare them clearly. When you deposit money in the bank receives your money for safekeeping and uses it according to banking rules. In return, the bank may pay you interest depending on the type of account. When you take loan, the opposite happens. The bank gives money to you. You agree to repay it over time along with interest. So remember, deposits, the customer is the saver. In loans, the customer is the borrower. The simple difference is enough to answer many board questions. Let's revise today's lesson. Commercial banks are the financial institutions that accepts deposit, provide loans, and offer many banking services. We have studied 4 types of commercial banks: public sector, private sector, foreign banks, and RRBs. Then we explored the primary function, accepting deposits and advancing loans. Finally, we understood the secondary functions, agency functions, and general utility functions. So always classify functions into primary and secondary. Add one real life example for every function. Underline important keywords like deposits, loans, agency, and general utility. Congratulations, you have completed another important part of chapter 2. Today we learned that commercial banks do much more than just keep the money safe. They accept deposits, provide different kinds of loan, act on behalf of customers, and offer many useful services that makes our daily life easier. Before you leave, here's today's challenge. A business owner deposits 10 lakh into current account and later takes a business loan. Which 2 primary functions of commercial banks are shown in the example? Write your answer in the comment. I'll check as many responses as I can. If you found this lesson helpful, please like the video, share it with your classmates, and subscribe to the channel. In part 5, we will study one of the most fascinating topic in the chapter, credit creation by commercial bank. You will learn how banks create credit, how the money multiplier works and conceptually, and why this topic is so important for CBSE board exam and CUET. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next class. Till then, bye bye. Keep studying.